Hey YouTube, coming at you with my first Holiday Cup team, as the title said, up to 24-54 with this team. So I went 8-1. The thought process behind it was I expected Vigoroth everywhere. So I went with two things that resist counter. So Dragonite and Charge Bug. And then I needed a safe swap, and I'm like, I don't want to use Vigoroth because I feel like people are going to hunt Vigoroth, and I was correct. Like, people are hunting Vigoroth. So I was like, I need something that is a safe swap, but can have more play, and that's where Dunsparce comes in, right? So still take that same counter weakness, but a lot of people were coming out with like the ghost ground Pokemon, which would absolutely just wall Vigoroth. But at least with Dunsparce, you can throw Drill Run. Plus, people out in the comments were talking about Whimsicott, so I'm like, with that, you can have Rollout and Rock Slide. So it just seemed overall better as like a potential safe swap, just given this early part of the meta. And then Dragonite, Charger Bug. I've talked about them in Open Great League, how strong they are. Just very both resist counters. Charger Bug very very tanky. Dragonite way more just attack heavy. And the team worked very very well, like I said. So you're going to see the 8-1 here, to get me to 24-54. And I did these battles on the bus. So when you see weak connection and the spinning ball of death in every single one of these matchups, it's because my internet connection was brutal. I thought I could live a body slam, but I'm like, okay, that you cannot live a body slam. That was a lot of damage. I already grabbed one shield, so now getting this on the Galvantula is very nice. I will have to take a lunge, and they will lower my attack, which is unfortunate, but that is okay when I can just go Rock Slide to do super effective. Not enough to take out, so I'll probably have to take a second one. But I should be able to maybe farm down. Yeah, I'll shield. I could theoretically probably live this one. It'll be close. Don't want to test that. I just have to find him. My attack's lowered twice, so I'm just going instant swap here. Catch a body slam. Live that, obviously, with ease. Out comes a Sableye. So 2x Scissors will take this out with the Volt Switch on top of that. Now the question is it worth shielding? And I think it is, because Dunsparce has like a move in a bit. And I'll resist the counters on the Vigoroth. And Vigoroth just dumped its Body Slam. So it's not like it's going to be able to counter me down. So they do come in here. I think what they're going to try and do is get to 2 moves, because that's probably their only win condition, is get to 2 Body Slams. But I have a move loaded, so I just come in and snipe with the Drill Run to take out a Vigoroth. So good start with the team there. Dragonite against Charizard. Again, Dragonite's very good in this meta where there's some fairies. I saw Wiggly a couple times today. I didn't see any did not see any Whimsicots. I saw a couple like Froslass, which is expected, but outside of like ice and a fairy here or there, you're really good against anything. Like there's not like basically no steals in this. Like there is Ace Sand Slash, but I went so scared of Vigoroth and stuff that no one's running Ace Sand Slash. So I did very well just with it on the lead, just being able to stay in with the majority of matchups, double shielding, ensuring I have switch. I'm going to force them to just take me down, and then I'll know I can get my Charge Bug on it, right? So already took them to Volt Switch range. They're going to get to 2 Surfs. 2 Surfs will not take out a Charge Bug from this range when your Spark is resisted. So at this point, I think I can probably just farm down with the Volt Switch and come out with a move. Yeah, and I'll have 2 Volt Switches, 2 X Scissors coming out. And they make a sort of a good catch, but it doesn't matter in the ending. So they come in, I throw an X Scissor, and they instant swap and catch it on the Charizard. So nice swap there. But I have 2 moves, so I'm still going to get the second one off here. And then I have Dunsparce, which has Drill Run, which is super effective. So it still takes 2. That X Scissor kind of doesn't matter because it still takes 2 Drill Runs to take out. And as you're going to see, this Drill Run super effective, does a lot. And as you're going to see, Dunsparce is tanky AF. So these Mud Bombs not going to do too much damage here. And you will be able to outpace. Rolled Out is a bad fast move for damage, but decent for energy generation. And there's your second move for the win. So the meta seems, I'll talk about, maybe I'll do a couple more videos just to how I get around some battles. But that is a bad lead, and this is a bad switch. Wait, what did I say? 8-1? 4, 4-1, and 3-1. No, 7-2. 7-2. I'll correct that in the heading. I went 7-2 because I had one game where I actually started with a different team, and then I went 3-1 in the set with that, and then I went 4-1 in the set after that. So 7-2. And this is probably my loss because Dragonite Lead, double on my Dunsparce, right? It's just hard counter right now. I stay in just to get a Dragon Claw off. Did I lose this one or did I come back? Well, I put in every single battle I have, so we'll just wait till the ending and see how many I won and lost here. So far I'm 2-0, right? 2-0? Yeah, Dunsparce, right? I'm hard countered here. This is going to do super effective rock slides. So yeah, this game's over. Not much I can do here. This is just hard counter team. But the meta is interesting. It's all over the place. I've seen, let me just bring up, I'll try and do half eye on PV Poke rankings and half an eye on this. Obviously Vigoroths were everywhere, but so were Paleosands, which I was using in my second team, which you will see tomorrow. I don't want to do two. So yes, Lanturns everywhere, Vigoroths everywhere, Dunsparce skirt double, pretty everywhere. I did not see the electrics for being 789. I did not see any electrics at all. I think it was because there was an increase. There's a bunch of Vigoroths, which do super effective against the electrics, like because except for Pachirisu, but super effective against Magnezone and Togedemaru or Togedemaru. They try and catch here. Wiggly, yeah, I come in Dunsparce. So I didn't see the electrics. I saw like 1 or 2 Obstagoons, 1 or 2 Skelders, 1 or 2 Stunfisk, 1 or 2 Arctivacs. No real lit Leos, 1 Talonflame, a couple Charger Bugs, no Sandslashes, no, not a ton of fires, quite honestly. It was just a lot of the ground Pokemon. Like I saw Paleosands like a bunch of times. I saw Golurk a couple times. I saw Wiggly a few times. So I will take this move here. Probably just farm down and then instant swap here. Yep. Try and snipe here. Shadow probably enough to take out from this range. And it is. And they have Vigoroth. So I'm just going Claw because they're going to shield 100%. And then I just want to do as much Dragon Breath damage as I can here to get this in X Scissor range after a Volt Switch, which I did need because it actually needs another Volt Switch after. They go straight Rock Slide, which is actually, I don't think they could have got to 2 moves, 2 Rock Slides. Because I think they're like just getting to the Body Slam as I'm getting to this move. So yeah, I don't think they could have gotten double Rock Slide. I mean, yeah, I think they had to bait. Or, no, I don't even think with the bait they would have got to the move. I think I outpaced them to move. Lantern, again, Lanturns were everywhere today. Magnezone. So I tried to catch. I went like pretty slow and then tried to catch. Knowing that I can do anything here and pretty much take it. Everything's resisted, right? Move this a bit closer. Am I in my pajamas? Yeah, I am. It's 10 o'clock at night when I'm filming. The joys of having a full-time job and then kids and then life. You know, tough to get it all done. Charger Bug. So Charger Bug's pretty good in this. So let's just talk about each of these Pokemon. I really think, I think all 3 Pokemon are good in this meta. Like I said, I think I already kind of went over Dragonite, why I think it's so strong. Not a ton of ice, not a ton of fairies. You don't need to worry about steals resisting Dragon Breath either. There's like Skarmory. So that's good for Dragonite's perspective. Lots of Vigoroth resisting the counters, right? So that's good. Dunsparce is an interesting one. I think it has some play. The problem with Dunsparce is I just hate its movesets. Its movesets suck, which has always limited it. It's tanky. It's a tanky Pokemon, but in terms of its moveset stats, you're getting right a terrible damage per turn, damage per turn here, of 1.67. So really terrible damage with a 4.33 energy per turn. Right, so super fast energy generation to get to Drill Run and Rock Slide. The problem is Drill Run and Rock Slide, as you see me take it out here, are both, so this is probably my terrible lead. Come in here, probably getting hit. Oh no, that's a bad come in here. I guess so they're very weak to Dunsparce. As I'm talking about why Dunsparce isn't as strong, I'm now countering a team that's double weak to a rock right now. The problem with Dunsparce is its charge moves. You know what? The damage per energy is not terrible. I was going to say it's because they're non-stab. So they're both 45 energy. Rock Slide and Drill Run are 45 energy. Rock Slide does 75 damage. Drill Run does 80. Non-stab, right? Because you're normal typing. But it's still 1.67 damage per energy for Rock Slide and 1.78 for Drill Run. So not bad. Not bad. You're just more of a defensive Pokemon, so your stats are like 104 attack, 110 defense, 183 stamina, right? So they're very defensive heavy Pokemon, so your attack stats not hard, even though the damage is decent here. I gotta get the full formula. Maybe I feel like that's gonna be a good video of like how much, because one of the first videos I ever watched was King talk about like the damage output, and it's a full formula. Damage output. I want to see if there's a calculation here, because it takes in consideration like same type attack bonus. It takes in consideration your attack stats. It takes in consideration the move set and stuff like that. So there's a lot that actually goes into how much damage you can do. I'm trying to see if there's like somewhere online the damage equations. Okay, yes, here it is. Because I think it's important when you're thinking about these Pokemon. So the damage, yeah, it's very I will definitely do this more in depth one video because I think it's important. But to give you the formula, damage, so the damage that you're doing in a battle equals the floor, which is the mathematical function rounds down the resulting value to the nearest whole number. Okay, so that's just saying there's a bracket formula here. So they're basically saying that they're going to round that number down to the nearest whole numbers down floor. So the formula itself is 0.5 times power. This represents the base power of the move used by attack. So in this 75 or 80 base power of the move, times your attack divided by defense. So the attack is only 104 and defense is 110, right? So when you have a lower attack compared to your defense, that number is going to be under 1, right? So it's going to be like in this case, it's like 0.9 something. So when you times your 0.9 something by your power times 0.5, that number shrinks. So when you have a lower attack Pokemon, right, compared to like a heavy defensive Pokemon, so these like defensive heavy Pokemon, lower attacks, your overall 0.5 times your power times that formula is going to be lower. times multipliers. Multipliers refers to a combination of modifiers that influences the amount of damage, such as stab, I mentioned multiple times, same type attack bonus, and then there's other stuff if you're doing like raids, weather, friendship, dodge effectiveness, super effective damage, right? If it's like a PvP, it says player versus player situation. So if it's a super effective or not too effective. And then +1. This ensures that every attack deals at least 1 point of damage, preventing a battle from becoming a stalemate. Which is why when you get the shield, 1 HP shield death, it's because this formula is basically saying that no. Is that true? Is that the reason? Is it this +1? No, because it doesn't matter. Unless that +1 is added after. It'd be interesting to see if that's why the 1 HP shield damage, or if using a shield costs 1 HP. I don't know what the rationale is. But for those of you who don't know, if you use a shield with 1 HP, your Pokemon goes down. And there was always the assumption that it costs 1 HP to use a shield. But now I'm wondering if this +1, but no, if you're shielding everything, it shouldn't matter if this is +1 onto the, but unless they said this ensures that every attack deals at least 1 point of damage, preventing a battle from becoming stalemate. So maybe that +1 is added on after the shield is used, and that's why 1 HP shield death occurs. Thinking out loud here. Yes, so that is the formula. They gave an example here. Oh, it's the defensive ratio of your opponent. It's your attack divided by the defensive ratio of your opponent. I'm definitely gonna calculate. I'm definitely gonna go over this. Sorry, let me just quickly go back to this meta. I already kind of explained how you play the team. Dragonite against everything. Stay in. I like to Dragon Breath, go down shields, just because I know if they have like a Vigoroth or something, Dragonite's gonna do okay. Plus Charge Bug. You have 2 answers for Vigoroth. You are double weak to rock. There's no like pure rock Pokemon. Dunsparce is going to be your biggest issue. So Dunsparce kind of covers both of those. My safe swap here, if I get hit with an ice, has been Dunsparce. I just think with all those grounds running around, Charge Bug is kind of risky. But I think this is probably going to be the last battle, and you're going to... yeah, this will be the last battle. And now I get a shielded Charge Bug. Charge Bug's decent because you resist. Oh, well, the problem is now with Rock Slide, it's actually like a much trickier matchup here. More so than before. You have to like, now, instead of just like living a Body Slam with ease, you have to respect that Rock Slide. So I'll be able to take this matchup and go 4-1 and go to 24-54, as you will see. But back to this formula, and I know this is very sidetracked, but I think this is actually really cool when you're thinking about using Pokemon. So they gave a calculation example. It's actually the defense of your opponent. So consider a battle between a Ho-Oh with a 240 attack using Fire Blast with a base power of 140 against a Lugia with a defensive stat of 320, assuming normal conditions without any multipliers. The calculation is 240 attack divided by the 320 defense equals 0.75. The all multipliers are 1 except stab, which is 1.2. Is it 1.2 or 1.25? Oh, and PvP, which is so 1.2 for Fire Blast and Hose, and PvP, which is 1.3. So 1.3 stab. I thought it was 1.25. Okay, but they're saying 1.3 stab. So therefore, the combined is 1.2. Oh no, so it's 1.2 Fire Blast and PvP, comma, which is 1.3. Oh, they're doing the calculation there. It's kind of confusing. And then the 1.2 times 1.3 is 1.56. And then it's so 0.5 times 140 of the fire blast times the power. No, 140 is the power. So 0.5 times 140 times 0.75 times the attack over the defense, 1.56. No, that's the multiplier. 0.75 is the attack over defense. Okay, I see what they're doing. Let me do that again. The floor of 0.5, which is the start of the formula, times the power, which is 140, times the attack, your attack over their defense, which is 0.75, times the multiplier, which was 1.56, and they multiplied, all multipliers are 1 except stab, which is 1.2 for Fire Blast, and PvP, which is 1.3. So you get a multiplier of 4 stab and PvP? Interesting. 1.56 plus 1. This equals 82.5 plus 1. So the floor of 82.5 is 82, plus 1 is 83. So the final damage is therefore 83 HP. So Fire Blast with a base power of 140 is doing 83 HP damage to a Lugia. This calculated damage is the amount of HP that the defending Lugia would lose for Ho-Ho's Fire Blast under the described conditions. This equation illustrates how different stats and conditions can influence the outcomes of battles in Pokemon Go. So all that to say is, when we talk about, there's a lot of factors that go into play when you're throwing a move. And it's like stab and attack stat and stuff like that, and there's a formula for it, so it's not just as straightforward as how much is this going to do. So I'm pretty sure, I hope that was actually with PvP as well, which I think it is, but if it's not, I'm sure no. Yeah, it looks like this is the same thing. It'd be weird if they did a different damage formula for the It'd be weird if they did a different damage formula for the battles versus like raids. Anyways, sorry. Obviously, that is very off track. That is the team. And I did well with it, 2454. You can run it yourself. And that is it. You'll see Abomasnow. I'm still undecided who I'm going to put in the title. Paleosand or Abomasnow was the core I used. And then I used 2 different other Pokemon on the lead. So I'm going to film that. It's late, so maybe tomorrow. Maybe right now. I don't know. Anyways, that's enough rambling. Thanks for watching. See you guys on the next one.